What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, let's go to Churchill Downs on Saturday, June 21st. It is the Chicago Stakes. Grade 2 event, going 7 furlongs, $300,000 the purse. Field of 11 here. This is a hell of a race. I think we're going to have a lot of fun kind of dissecting this one, try to get us a winner. All right, let's put it up on the screen now. Field of 11, like I said, it's going to be a really good race. Seems like a lot of pace in this race, a lot of class in this race as well. So let's get through it one by one and let's see what we can come up with. The number 1, Emory, is where we'll start. This is a horse that I would say has been a little disappointing in the last 3 races. Now, hasn't really been horrible in any of them, but just no wins this year is kind of surprising after she was kind of a win machine all of 2024. 2025 started off with a neck loss in the inside information, lost by a length in the Madison, then the next start. 2 good efforts, but 2 losses, and then was 5th, beaten 9 3/4 in the Derby City Distaff last time out. That was a tough race with Copian, Hope Road, Ways and Means. As tough as this race is, there isn't a horse like that here, but this is still a very tough spot for Emory. So I think we'll set a pretty decent trip, but I do kind of worry about maybe getting pinned inside in this spot with so much other speed signed on. So I'm going to kind of just take a pass on Emory today. I'm not sure that I'm interested in playing this horse on top. The number 2 is Minx Palace. Minx Palace up against it in a big way, in my opinion. 2 races back, did get a win right here at 6 furlongs over this track in the Roxalana Stakes, but last time out in the winning colors was 5th, beaten 9 lengths. Anytime this horse has been up against kind of the better stakes company, it's kind of gone that way. In the Raven Run last year, this horse was 5th. Just kind of the tougher races, she hasn't been able to compete. I do think kind of like the 1 Emory, the 2 could kind of maybe get shuffled back a little bit further even, and maybe get a little bit of a tough trip. So another one I'm not real interested in this spot today. The number 3 is Gray Lightning. I think this horse will be part of the early pace, but, I just don't think this is one that's going to show up with much of a chance here, and might be cheap speed as well. Look, I'll just be blunt. I live about 45 minutes from Will Rogers Downs. I would never bet a horse that finishes 3rd in a stakes race at Will Rogers Downs to come win a grade 2 at Churchill Downs. It's just that simple. The horse was 4th, 2 races back at Oaklawn Park in the Majestic Overnight Stakes. I thought ran well at Hawthorne last time out, but still lost. Got 2nd, beaten ahead in the 3rd chance. Once again, Hawthorne, Will Rogers, if you're not winning there, I don't think you're winning a grade 3 here. I do think you'll be part of the pace. Or she will be part of the pace, I should say, but that's where it will end for her. The number 4 is Bright Work, a horse that we know can show up and run big in spots, loves going 7 furlongs, has had a little trouble staying on the track, had a lot of races as a 2-year-old, I should say. Long layoff, came back from a long layoff and won the Prior S as a 3-year-old before running 3rd in the TCA to end the 2024 season. Long layoff again, came back in the winning colors last time out, got 4th, beaten 4 3/4. I think's ready for a better effort today, but boy, I think it's going to be part of a pretty hot pace. I'm a little bit worried about that for the number 4, Bright Work. Tough for me to back in this spot. All right, let's talk about the number 5, Vahva. The horse did win the Chicago last year in a very impressive win. That was the 2nd straight win for her at that spot, and she started to really kind of look like, if not the top, one of the top horses in this division. 3 straight losses since that win. So has not won since that race last year. So pretty much a year since we've seen her win a race. She was 3rd, beaten 4 3/4 in the Ballerina up at Saratoga. 8th, beaten 7.5 in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. No effort in the Derby City Distaff off of that layoff. Last time out, 7th, beaten 12 1/4. Is she a little over the hill is my question in this spot. And I think this is a real prove it race for Vahva. And, she doesn't have to win to make me say, okay, maybe she's still got a little bit left, but she needs to run better. And I'm kind of against her in this spot. I don't know. I think maybe she may have had her best races maybe behind her a little bit. I'm a little bit worried. Another horse that likes to sit a little bit close to the pace, and I think that's going to be pretty hot for her. So a little bit worried about Vahva in this spot. She needs to rebound, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure this horse, maybe her best days might be behind her. That's what I'm worried about for her. I'm not, and again, I think she'll be the favorite. So I don't know. I'm not really excited to back her at a short price. in this one. Let's keep going to the number 6, Marmalade Sky. This is a horse that's won 2 straight races, but they were against weaker company, a claiming event at Churchill Downs, and then an allowance at Churchill as well. A little bit outclassed in this spot today. Another horse that I do think will get towards the lead, try to make a run towards the lead. So, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, even the 1 and 2 all have speed. Should set it up for a closer, in my opinion. So Marmalade Sky, I think, will be part of the pace, but I'm not sure he'll be around when the real running begins. The number 7, Harbor Springs. This is a horse coming off of a 3rd place effort last time out at Churchill Downs to Mink's Palace, a horse we just talked about. 2 races back, did win an allowance race at Fairgrounds, but another one, 3 races back, I should mention, also won an allowance right here at Churchill Downs. So 3 pretty good efforts in a row, but is she a bit outclassed in this spot as well? I think it's possible. I think underneath, this horse does make a little bit of sense. I do think she's going to get the pace to run into. The trip, I should be pretty good for this horse sitting off the pace and making that run. Just not sure she can get all the way up and win, but hitting the board would not surprise me at all. The number 8, Pigalle. This is a very interesting horse. Ran in some tough races last year. Towards the end of last year in the Locust Grove, got 4th, beaten 5 1/4, and then in the Chaluki got 6th, beaten 13. So 2 bad efforts to kind of end her season, but she had been really consistent and really good before that. So maybe just got a little tired. And last, came back off of a long layoff to run last time out on May 30th in an allowance right here over this track, and was a winner by 2.5 lengths. And she kind of looked better than ever, in my opinion, in that race. Now we're 2nd off the layoff. It's a horse that can come from out of it. If the pace gets pretty hot, I think she's going to sit right there behind the speed in this spot, but in a pretty good spot. So I've got a lot of interest in the 8, Pigalle here. I think she's going to show up and run very well. Like I said, kind of looked better than ever last time out. I think she'll show up and run a good race here in this one. Another one I've got a lot of interest in is the number 9, My Main Squeeze. This is a horse that was 3rd 2 races back going this distance in the Madison, was 2nd in the Raven Run last year going this distance, won the Dogwood right here at Churchill Downs going this distance. So a lot of experience and a few wins going this long. Was 3rd last time out in the Ruffian Stakes going a mile at Belmont at the Big A. So now cutting back to where I think she really belongs. I do have a lot of interest, and I also kind of like that. I think she'll be another one that's coming from off the pace. So this is another one that I think shows up here with a big shot. The number 9, My Main Squeeze. The number 10, Claret Barrette. And I think this is a very interesting horse as well. Ran last time out for the first time for Safi Joseph. And that usually goes well, and it sure did. A little small handicap there at Gulfstream Park, only won by 19 3/4 lengths by earning, and while also earning a speed figure much higher than what she had in the past. So Safi's got this horse running well. This is one that wasn't too bad anyway. Had an allowance win at Remington Park, back in 2024. Had an allowance win at Oaklawn Park as well. But boy, that 1 mile race at Gulfstream last time out was very impressive. I think this is a really good spot. I think they're showing a lot of confidence getting this horse here to this race off of that one. She's another one that I don't think really wants to be towards the front. I think she'll kind of just sit back a little bit towards the middle of the pack and make a big run. So she can repeat her last race. I think she's going to be awfully tough. I've got a lot of respect for the 10, Claret Barrette. And then finally, the number 11, Zetlos, is who we'll talk about here last. This horse, obviously, for Steve Asmussen, always has shown class, always shows up with a nice effort here. Last time out was able to get the job done at Pimlico, first race off the layoff in the Ski Pat Stakes, and won by 1.5 lengths. Was 7th, beaten 7 in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. So there is, that was just a little too tough for her. But she won the TCA at Keeneland last year. She also won the Open Mind here at Churchill Downs as well. So she's just really classy. She shows up every time with a good effort. I think she'll show up here with a good effort as well. Another race, or another horse, I should say, that the pace should set up pretty well for her to come running late with a nice run down the lane. All right, well, let's pick it here. I debated this one back and forth for a while. I think Safi's got something here with the number 10, Claret Barrette. I really liked how this horse ran last time out for Safi, first time out for Safi, and just was impressive. Look, I'm not overly concerned that she won by 19 3/4. I mean, she was 3-5 in that race. She should have ran like that, but I'm just more looking at, it was a nice speed figure. She kind of did it the right way. And Safi bringing the horse up here, I think, is a really good sign. So give me the number 10 to win this year's running of the Chicago Stakes. All right, guys, that'll do it for this preview. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're betting Churchill Downs on Saturday.